Hi, everybody. I wanted to give you a brief update. And since I haven't done a video in a while, I thought this would be a great format, especially since I have a wedding in about an hour and a half. So I thought I would use some of the time to send you an update. This past week, I had the privilege of traveling to see my family and then Caitlin's. Sadly, Caitlin's grandmother has been placed on hospice and she has never met Jameson. So we decided to make the trip, even though it was a little bit difficult, in order to meet her. And I had some time to spend with her grandfather. He's 92 years old, and we had a wonderful time. He taught me how to take care of fig trees, plant them, mend them, and duplicate them. And so one of the things that I was able to do was bring back 3 fig trees. One we planted right outside of the walkway to our building, and 2 are at my home. It was a legacy thing for me. Here's this man who learned from his father and grandfather how to take care of fig trees, and now I have the ability to also pass that legacy on to Jameson one day, prayerfully, hopefully. That's the power of teaching and being a legacy builder, and that's why I'm urging parents to register before the deadline, which is tomorrow at 5 p.m. For our children's faith formation. We're doing our best to honor what you need, but also to honor what we need in order to help your children to become practicing Catholic Christians in the world. If there's anything the world needs right now, it's the good, the honest, and the holy. And we're counting on your children to be just that. So please register. We also had a conference call with the Department of Health in Montgomery County last Tuesday. They have told us that they're exempting all religious institutions now from any type of mandates. We're not comfortable with that yet. So we are a regional church. We have school children in the building, plus children faith formation. And so what I've decided to do is to increase our ability to have more people in the sanctuary. But we're going to keep everybody safe. And so we're going to still ask you to RSVP for Mass. We're going to increase to 1/3 of our capacity. So somewhere around 45 to 50 people we're going to allow at a Mass at a time, rather than just the 25 that we have been. But we're still going to do distancing. We're not going to allow singing. Our cantor and singers will still be masked. There'll be no congregational singing yet. Temperature checks, hand sanitizers, the communion restrictions, hand washing, all of that is going to remain the same. But we are going to allow more people to come to encourage you to come back to Mass. But we're going to also ask you to RSVP. Today at the 9 o'clock Mass, we were over 46 people without our ministry team. But only 18 registered. And so please take a few minutes, even if you're a regular parishioner, to register. Our capacity limits could take us much higher in the future, but we're going to do it in stages. So the next stage would be to monitor the situation and then perhaps increase more, but keeping the other restrictions and accommodations in place. We're also going to do a little ranging of space a little differently to encourage you to go behind us, because you're allowed to sit anywhere in the sanctuary. So please keep that in mind. And if you feel a little breezy in there, it's because we have increased our airflow and circulation, which is also a good way of keeping any type of illness away. Finally, we're going to be watching the International Coalition of Performing Arts aerosol study. That's a big mouthful, but basically they're trying to figure out how it's spread within a congregational setting like ours, if anything, and then also how to limit that exposure, especially around singing and performing arts. So please watch for that information as it becomes available. They're in their second phase, and we're anxiously waiting the results for their third. Pews, giving, blogs, devotionals, all those things are coming back. Please watch for them. I admit I've been remiss in giving you blogs and devotionals. Life has been rather complex on my end as well, but I'm going to earnestly try to get back to a routine of a weekly post. We have 23 pews left. We would really encourage you to buy a pew to support us and to please give as you are available. If God has blessed you some way during this pandemic and you're able to give us anything more, we could certainly use it. Giving is obviously down because of the pandemic and people not being able to come. So we could certainly use a boost going into the fall, especially since we've absorbed all of the CFF costs for this new hybrid program. Also, the concert and silent auction, which is our largest fundraiser that normally happens in November, the Friday before Thanksgiving, is still going to happen. More than likely, it looks like we're going to do virtual. So a virtual sign on for the concert and a virtual silent auction. If you have any items to donate, please let Pat Wilkie know. She's already collecting them, and we're going to have to get them in earlier so that we can get photos and put them up on the website. So help us to make it a success this year. Charlie and I are working on the music as we speak, and so watch for news coming up on the annual concert and silent auction as well. My last thing is I know that with the election and now with Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying, there's a lot of fear in the country right now, a lot of hostility. We need to rely on the love and the grace of God. And as I mentioned in my homily today, we need to take the words of Justice Ginsburg to heart. Real meaningful change comes in small steps. We're not going to overcome the pandemic overnight. We're not going to overcome our anxiety overnight, but we can be small beacons of light for others along the way. This past evening, we found out that after we left, Caitlin's grandfather's home was robbed. I can't imagine what kind of a person would rob a 92-year-old man of personal belongings and cash, but I can tell you that whoever it was has a lot of repenting to do. That's why what we do here is so important. That's why what we teach your children is so important, to be better than that, to bring peace and light and love into the world, and not this hatred that we see all around us, and to take from the impoverished and the elderly. That's not what we are. That's not the type of people we are, and that's certainly not the type of people we are here at St. Miriam. So please help and support us. Continue to love us. Come to Mass if you are able. Sign on virtually if you're not comfortable yet. Support us financially. Buy a pew. Get ready for the auction, and watch for updates as we extend them to you on any changes that are coming up. Remember, the CFF deadline is coming up. We really would like you to register your children so that we can continue to teach them and help side by side with parents and guardians help to make better people into the world. Again, I miss you, miss the way things were, but perhaps if we can harness what the best that came out of this is, which is love, family, faith, and God, I think that we'll be all the better when we come out of it. Praying for your protection and God's grace in your lives. Love you. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.